What's up guys, Dominic Hargan here with Endless Souls Photography, back with another video. In this video, I'm going to be going over 10 tips on how to up your photo gains. Okay, so here we go. Number one.
What you doing?
Dude, I'm filming a video right now trying to teach them how to up their photo games.
Right on. What have you taught them so far?
I literally just started.
Oh, right on.
You know you're still in the frame, right?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. So tip number one is shoot in scenes that scare you. Obviously, we go to certain places that we feel comfortable with. You know, we shoot in certain scenes, whether it's, sunset or sunrise. We always shoot in the sunny days, or we always shoot in cloudy days. You always want to make sure that you challenge yourself to shoot in different places that you're not comfortable with. So let's just say you go out and it's raining and you're like, oh, well, I can't go out and shoot photos because it's raining. So get your camera, go out there and shoot in the rain. And obviously you can get an umbrella, whatever. Keep your stuff dry, but go out and shoot something different. Shoot in a scene where you are not comfortable with. Tip number two is either shooting early in the morning or in the evening. I know, I just, whatever. But no. Try not to, especially with subjects. With subjects, it's always a lot easier to shoot early in the morning or later at night just because the sunlight isn't so harsh all the time. So when you're shooting a subject, obviously there are times where your client will say, oh, well, I have to do it at noon because I have something to do in the morning and I have something to do at night. So there's sometimes where you can't get around it, but just try to shoot for morning or later in the evening. So tip number three is make sure your subject's eyes are always in focus. No matter what it is, you always want to make sure that your subject's eyes are in focus because that's what you want your viewers to see. You want them to go into their eyes. So obviously if they're facing this way or something, you're not going to be able to get their eyes, but you want to make sure that their eyes stay in focus as best as you can. Number four is pay attention to your background. So when you're shooting your subject, you want to make sure that your background doesn't have a big dumpster behind you or, kids running around or just something that's distracting. You want to make sure that it's nice and clean. You don't want to have too much stuff in the background. Try to make it as limited as possible. So make sure you keep your background clear. Number five is to always be careful with your on-camera flash. Flash can be a difficult thing to learn. It can be a difficult thing to use. You want to light your subject, so you turn your flash all the way up, and then it just blows your subject's face out, and it just doesn't look good. So be careful on using your flash. That's why a lot of the time I don't like to use flash, just because it's a pain sometimes. So, but obviously there are times when you have to use it. So just be careful of that.
How's it going?
Dude, I'm halfway through. Can you give me a few minutes to finish this? Or?
Oh yeah. No problem. Sure. Yeah.
Dude, you're still in the frame.
Oh, yeah, my bad. Continue.
Okay. Number six is make sure you tell a story with your photos and your videos. You want your viewers to be able to see that scene. You want your viewers to be able to visualize the story that you're trying to tell. So make sure you always tell the story. It'll make you 10 times. Now, number 7, I went through it in a previous video, and I told you how much I hate going out and buying them, but they are a necessity, and that is tripods. Tripods will help you in lower light situations. It will help you when you're doing videos like this. It keeps everything stable, keeps everything, still. So invest in a tripod. Whether you use it or not, it just depends on the scenario. You won't always, I'm not talking about going out and getting a tripod for all of your client work. I hardly use my tripod unless I'm doing video or I'm doing like something where I have like a low shutter speed. Those are about the only time that I use my tripod. Number 8 is leading lines. So you want to have these invisible lines that lead to your subject. It could be, your subject sitting on a bridge and, the railings kind of lead straight to your subject. You want your viewer's eyes to go straight to your subject rather than, off over here or off over there. You want your subject to be the main focus. So make sure you try to get some leading lines in there. Number 9 is fill your frame. Now, when you're shooting subjects, you want to have them as close as possible. You don't want to have all this extra space of stuff. You want to make sure that your subject, when you're doing photos, it's nice and tight. So that way it's less distracting for the viewer to take their eyes away from your subject. And number 10 is learning from your mistakes. This is a very important one because there's a lot of times where we go out and we shoot things and then, we see that we made a mistake. And the next time we end up making the same mistake when we go back out. So try to remember to fix all of your mistakes, learn from them. Let's just say you overexpose your photos, your background is blown out. Try to remember those settings, try to pay attention to it. It's a lot of the time we focus on the subject. There's times where we don't look behind the subject. So, you go through and you don't want to have a white background. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you always learn from your mistakes. That's all. Dude, those were so great. You should be a photographer or something. I am a photographer. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Dude, how'd you forget? I've been doing it for 8 years.
Have you though? Have you?
Yeah, I have.
Well, how come you haven't been doing it full time then?
I'm working on it.
Okay. And whatever you say, man.
I'm serious.
Yeah, whatever you say, but
you guys believe me, right? I sure hope so, because if not, I've been doing all this for nothing. I mean, I hope you learned something from this video. If you did, smash the like button, hit the subscribe, turn on the notifications so you get notified every single time I post. And until next time, we'll see you in the next one. Peace. Okay, I'm going to go cry myself to sleep.